Before we begin, let me show you what's about to happen in the next 35 minutes. At the 18th minute, you're going to experience something that will change everything you thought you knew about reality. Enoch, the keeper of the keys, is going to download your personal akashic file directly into your consciousness. And when that happens, you'll never be able to pretend you're just an ordinary human again. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, you need to understand why you're here right now. If you're watching this at this exact moment, pay close attention, because something profound is happening in your reality matrix. In the past few days, you may have noticed synchronicities intensifying, dreams becoming more vivid, a growing sensation that something monumental is about to be revealed. These aren't coincidences. They are confirmations that your hermetic genetic codes are being activated by Thoth himself, the multidimensional scribe who moves through realities as a master. Here's what's going to happen in the next 15 seconds that will prove everything I'm about to tell you. Close your eyes for a moment and place your hand on your heart. Do you feel that? That subtle electric sensation? That slight quickening of your pulse, that's your dormant Atlantean DNA responding to Thoth's frequency transmission encoded in the very sound waves of my voice. Open your eyes. That wasn't your imagination. That was recognition. I am known as a translator of Hermetic mysteries, a bridge between ancient frequencies and modern consciousness. And today, you're going to discover something that will completely transform your understanding of who you really are and why you arrived here at this specific moment in planetary history. Because what's happening now transcends any spiritual movement you've ever encountered. We're talking about a genetic activation programmed millennia ago, coded into your DNA by the Atlantean masters themselves. Let me ask you something that's going to make this real for you right now. How many times in the past month have you woken up at exactly 3:33 a.m.? How many times have you seen the number sequence 1111 or 1212? And here's the one that's going to confirm everything. Have you recently felt an inexplicable urge to learn about ancient Egypt, sacred geometry, or Hermetic philosophy? If you answered yes to any of these, then Thoth has been calling you. And this video is your official invitation to remember who you truly are. But here's what the spiritual community isn't telling you about this awakening process. This isn't just another consciousness shift or ascension wave. According to the secret teachings Thoth left in the halls of Amenti, we are literally in the final phase of a 26,000-year genetic experiment, and you are one of the test subjects who passed. Let me explain what that means. Thoth recorded in the sacred scrolls that at the end of a cycle that transcends time and space, those who carry the encoded genetic memories would be called to awaken. And when I say called, I'm not speaking metaphorically. I'm talking about a real energetic transmission happening through the matrix of the 12 pyramids of light that Thoth established as a quantum network interconnecting all realities. You need to understand that your soul didn't choose to be here by accident. You are one of those Thoth calls his priests and priestesses who must one day re-establish the knowledge in full definition. In that time, they will incarnate as masters and wonder workers of their age. This time is now. This activation is yours. When Thoth wrote about the 36 creative forces that established on Earth life forms of different patterns and purposes, he was describing a very specific project. These 36 entities used energies of light and the tones of crystals to create a matrix network that connects all dimensions of existence. And you who are awakening now are the terrestrial guardians of this network. Let me share something that happened to one of my students last week. Sarah from Colorado contacted me after watching my previous Thoth activation. She said that within 48 hours of the activation, she started receiving what she could only describe as downloads during meditation. Symbols she'd never seen before would appear in her mind's eye, and when she drew them, she discovered they were actual Egyptian hieroglyphs with specific meanings related to her life path. But here's the incredible part. She had never studied Egyptian symbolism in her life. This is happening to thousands of people right now. The genetic codes are activating spontaneously. The question is, are you ready to consciously participate in your own awakening, or are you going to let it happen to you unconsciously? Before we go deeper, I need you to participate. In the comments below, write the number of the month you were born. Don't write the month name, just the number. Trust me, there's a reason I'm asking this that will become clear as we continue. Modern quantum physics is only beginning to understand what Hermetic masters have always known. Multiple realities exist simultaneously, and consciousness is the determining factor of which timeline you experience. But what science hasn't discovered yet is that there's a specific spiritual technology for consciously navigating between these realities. This technology is encoded in your energy system through what Thoth calls wheels of energy, which you know as chakras. But here's the secret that's been hidden from humanity for thousands of years. Your chakras aren't just energy centers. They're quantum receivers that can tune into specific frequencies of the universal matrix. When these centers are fully activated, you gain access to what Thoth describes as instantaneous transmission of information. All knowledge that has ever existed or will exist is available in a nanosecond of conscious connection with the matrix network. But why is this happening specifically now? Because we're in what Thoth calls the end of a cycle. Earth is completing a 26,000-year rotation through what you know as the precession of the equinoxes, and this is causing a fundamental shift in the very structure of three-dimensional reality. The dense frequencies that kept humanity in limited states of consciousness are dissolving, allowing the higher frequencies of the pyramids of light to penetrate directly into human experience. Thoth prepared for this transition long ago. In the scrolls he left in the halls of Amenti, where Amenti means humanity, are all the instructions necessary to navigate this planetary transformation. And you, as one of his initiates, have direct access to this information through your spiritual genetic inheritance. I want you to try something right now that will prove your connection to Thoth's lineage. For the next 30 seconds, stare at your hands. Really look at them. Notice if you see any subtle light emanating from your fingertips, any energy patterns, or if your hands seem to slightly shimmer or vibrate. This is your etheric double, becoming visible as your frequency raises. Don't force it, just observe. Many of you will see something, and that's confirmation that your activation is already beginning. Now I'm going to take you somewhere that will change everything. Close your eyes and place your attention at the center of your heart. Breathe deeply 3 times and allow your consciousness to expand beyond the limits of your physical body. Now visualize a golden pyramid of light forming around you. This is your personal Merkaba, your multidimensional light vehicle. Within this pyramid, you can access any of the 12 pyramids of Thoth's matrix. Today, we're going to connect specifically with the Pyramid of Keys, located on the plain of Mexico, where Enoch, the keeper of the keys, maintains the infinite codes of creation. Allow your consciousness to travel through space and time until you find yourself in the crystalline corridors of this sacred pyramid. Enoch approaches you, holding a golden key that pulses with living light. This key represents the unlocking of your natural multidimensional capabilities. When he places it in your hands, you feel an electrical current running through your entire nervous system. This is the activation of your higher neural circuits, preparing your brain to process frequencies that were previously inaccessible. Now Enoch leads you to a crystal wall where thousands of symbols are engraved. These are the hieroglyphs of light that Thoth used to encode all universal wisdom. As you look at these symbols, they begin to glow and reorganize themselves, forming patterns that speak directly to your soul. You don't need to mentally translate these symbols because they're being downloaded directly into your consciousness as complete information packages. Take a moment here. Keep your eyes closed if they're closed, or softly focus on a point in front of you. What are you receiving? What images, sensations, or knowings are emerging spontaneously in your consciousness? This is Enoch downloading your personal akashic file, showing not only who you were in past lives connected to Thoth's project, but primarily what your unique contribution is to the emerging golden age. Share in the comments what you experienced during that visualization, even if it was just a subtle sensation or feeling. The Hermetic community recognizes each other through these shared experiences. When you return completely to this physical reality, something fundamental will have changed in your energetic structure. The codes that were activated today will continue developing over the next 48 hours. You may experience extremely vivid dreams, intensified synchronicities, sudden shifts in your thought patterns, or even new intuitive abilities manifesting. This is completely normal and expected. Thoth warned that when Hermetic genetic codes are activated, there's always an integration period where your consciousness adjusts to the new frequencies. Stay hydrated, spend time in nature, and trust the process. Your nervous system is being recalibrated to operate at higher frequencies. Marcus from Phoenix wrote to me 3 days after his activation. He said he woke up on the second night with a complete business plan for a healing center in his mind. The detailed vision included the exact location, the services they would offer, even the names of practitioners he needed to contact. Within a week, he found the perfect property at half the expected price. The first practitioner he called had been looking for exactly the type of space he was creating. 6 months later, his healing center is thriving, and he credits the entire manifestation to the codes Thoth activated during our session. This is the level of precision and synchronicity that becomes normal when your Hermetic DNA is fully online. But there's something even more extraordinary happening. As more people awaken to their Hermetic heritage, a planetary consciousness network is forming. Each activated initiate functions as a node in this network, transmitting and receiving information through what Thoth calls Earth's crystalline matrix. You're becoming neurons in an awakened planetary brain, and this network is being prepared for something specific. In Thoth's most secret teachings, there are references to what he calls Tashera el Amun, the great activation that will completely transform human experience on Earth. This isn't just individual consciousness change, but a collective mutation of the human species to a multidimensional state of existence. Here's something you can test right now to see if you're part of this network. Think of someone you haven't spoken to in months, but who you know is spiritually awakening. Just hold them in your consciousness for 30 seconds with the intention of sending them love. Many of you will receive a text, call, or social media message from that person within the next 24 hours. This is proof that the telepathic network is already active. The Pyramid of Dreams, located on the plain of Australia, is being especially active during this period. The Keeper of Dreams is transmitting keys during sleep time to all initiates ready to access them. If you've been experiencing intense, vivid, or prophetic dreams recently, it's because you're receiving nightly downloads of information. Thoth taught that dream reality is as true as any other within the universal matrix. In fact, it's often truer because it's not limited by the restrictive beliefs of the conscious mind. During sleep, your consciousness can travel freely through the 12 pyramids, learning and receiving activations that would be impossible in normal waking state. To maximize these nightly downloads, Thoth recommends a specific preparation before sleep. Place your hand over your heart and declare your intention to receive the keys that are appropriate for your current development. Visualize yourself entering the Pyramid of Dreams and presenting yourself to the Keeper of Dreams as an initiate ready for the next level of activation. During dreams, pay special attention to Egyptian symbols, pyramids, hieroglyphs, crystals, or any figure you recognize as Thoth or other masters. These are direct contacts with your spiritual lineage. Keep a journal beside your bed to immediately record any information you receive. Often, the most important revelations fade quickly, if not recorded immediately. How many of you have had dreams about ancient Egypt, pyramids, or mysterious teachers in the past month? Comment with just the word dreams if this resonates with you. I'm tracking how widespread this activation really is, but dreams are just one of the ways Thoth communicates with his initiates. In waking life, he constantly sends signals through what you call synchronicities. Repetitive numbers, especially sequences like 333, 1111, or 1212, are numerical codes from the matrix. Unexpected encounters with Egyptian symbols, references to ancient Egypt, or other spiritually awakened people are confirmations that you're following the correct path. Animals also function as Thoth's messengers. Specifically, ibis, hawks, serpents, and cats carry special frequencies from the Hermetic lineage. When these animals appear repeatedly in your life or in unusual ways, they're bringing specific messages about your spiritual development. Jennifer from Seattle shared that after her Thoth activation, hawks started appearing everywhere. Not just seeing them in the sky, but landing near her car, appearing in her backyard. Even a hawk flew directly in front of her windshield during a crucial business meeting drive. She said she finally understood. This was Thoth confirming she was meant to start her own consulting business. Within 3 months of following these signs, she'd left her corporate job and doubled her income doing soul-aligned work. The Pyramid of Wisdom, located on the plain of Canada and the Arctic region, is being particularly active for those ready to access the complete files of the Akashic Library. Sophia Hokmat, the creator of all knowledge who resides in this pyramid, is making available information that was previously reserved only for the most advanced initiates. If you feel an inexplicable thirst for knowledge, if you find yourself absorbing information at unusual speeds, or if you have spontaneous insights about subjects you never formally studied, it's because you're being connected to the universal database that Sophia maintains. This connection allows you to access not just intellectual knowledge, but experiential wisdom from all civilizations that have ever existed. Thoth taught that at the end of the cycle, the distinction between individual knowledge and universal knowledge would dissolve. Activated initiates would function as access terminals to the cosmic library, capable of downloading any information necessary for their specific missions. This is what you're experiencing when you have moments of inexplicable knowledge, or when you feel you've always known something you apparently just learned. To strengthen this connection with Sophia, Thoth recommends regular periods of silent contemplation, not meditation with specific techniques, but simply moments of open receptivity where you allow insights and understandings to emerge naturally. During these periods, ask specific questions about your mission, your gifts, or any area where you feel you need guidance. Answers will come through direct knowing, not through words. The Pyramid of Emotion, located on the plain of Peru, is working intensively with all initiates to complete the alchemical transmutation of limiting emotional patterns. Lubilia, the soul who creates through this pyramid, is sending waves of energy that automatically dissolve low-frequency emotions and transmute them into expanded states of consciousness. If you've noticed dramatic changes in your emotional patterns, if situations that once deeply disturbed you now seem trivial, or if you feel yourself being led to resolve old emotional issues, it's because Lubilea is working directly on your energy field. This emotional purification is essential because the higher frequencies of the pyramids cannot be maintained while dense emotional blocks exist. The process of emotional transmutation can be intense, but it's always beneficial. Thoth taught that all emotions are simply different frequencies of energy, and that through Hermetic understanding, any frequency can be transmuted into any other. What you call negative emotions are just misdirected energy that can be instantly transformed through conscious application of alchemical principles. The most effective technique Thoth taught for instantaneous emotional transmutation is what he calls Atlantean serpent breathing. When you feel any low-frequency emotion emerging, breathe deeply, visualizing a golden serpent rising up your spine from the base to the top of your head. As the serpent rises, it absorbs the dense emotional energy and transmutes it into pure light. When it reaches the top of your head, visualize it exploding into thousands of golden sparks that spread throughout your entire energy field. This technique not only transforms the specific emotion you're feeling, but permanently recalibrates your energy system to higher frequencies. With regular practice, you'll discover it becomes practically impossible to maintain limiting emotional states for extended periods. The Atlantean pyramid is revealing information about your past lives connected to Thoth's original project. Many of those awakening now were literally priests and priestesses in the Atlantean temples, where the spiritual technologies of the pyramids were originally developed. Memories of these experiences are being reactivated so you can apply this ancient knowledge to modern circumstances. You may find yourself inexplicably drawn to crystals, especially quartz and amethyst. You may feel a deep connection to sacred geometry, or have a natural facility for working with subtle energies. These are abilities you developed over multiple incarnations of Hermetic training, and they're now being reactivated for your current mission. The Lemurian pyramid is working specifically with those who have the ability to perceive and navigate between multiple dimensions simultaneously. If you have reality experiences that don't fit conventional explanations, if you see or feel presences others don't perceive, or if you have moments where you seem to exist in multiple realities at once, it's because Techoparima is expanding your dimensional perception. This perceptual expansion is an essential part of advanced Hermetic development. Thoth taught that three-dimensional reality is just a very thin slice of an infinite spectrum of dimensional frequencies. Fully activated initiates can move their consciousness fluidly through this spectrum, accessing information and abilities that exist at different levels of reality. To develop this ability, practice what Thoth calls expanded peripheral vision. During your normal daily activities, allow your attention to expand beyond central focus, to include everything happening in your visual periphery. Gradually expand even further to include what's happening behind you, above you, and below you. Continue expanding until your consciousness encompasses a complete sphere around your physical body. As you develop this practice, you'll begin to perceive energetic activities that are normally invisible. You may see lights, colors, or energy patterns. You may sense presences or receive impressions about what's happening in other dimensions. These perceptions aren't hallucinations or imagination, but genuine awareness of aspects of reality that are always present but normally filtered out by the conditioned mind. The extraterrestrial pyramid, located in Antarctica, is revealing connections to your stellar origins. Zerthanius is activating memories of your experiences in other planetary systems and helping you understand how these experiences relate to your mission on Earth. Many initiates discover their souls originated in places like Sirius, the Pleiades, Orion, or Arcturus, and came specifically to Earth to participate in this planetary transformation. These stellar memories aren't escapist fantasies, but practical information about your natural abilities and unique contribution to the terrestrial project. Different stellar origins confer different gifts and specialties. Those connected to Sirius frequently have natural abilities for working with sound frequencies and vibration. Those of Pleiadian origin are often natural healers and light workers. Those from Orion frequently have advanced technical and scientific abilities that can be applied to spiritual development. To access your stellar memories, Thoth recommends meditation under the starry sky. Lie down in a place where you can clearly see the stars, especially the constellations of Sirius, the Pleiades, and Orion. Allow your consciousness to expand beyond Earth's atmosphere. and feel yourself being drawn toward the stellar group that resonates most with you. As your attention focuses in this direction, allow memories and impressions to emerge naturally. You may receive images of alien landscapes, memories of advanced technologies, or knowledge about galactic civilizations. More importantly, you may receive clarity about why you chose to incarnate on Earth at this specific moment and what your contribution is to planetary ascension. The pyramid of mythological tradition is revealing how Hermetic teachings were preserved through symbols and stories throughout human history. Triogenes, the storyteller, is showing how myths, legends, fairy tales, and even modern films contain hidden Hermetic codes that were planted to preserve wisdom during periods of spiritual suppression. When you watch movies about magic, read books about lost civilizations, or feel drawn to certain mythologies, it's not casual entertainment. You're being led to these materials because they contain fragments of your own Hermetic teachings that you helped create in previous incarnations. Your soul recognizes the hidden truth in these stories and uses this resonance to reactivate dormant memories. To accelerate this process of remembrance, keep a journal of symbols and stories that capture your imagination in unusual ways. When you encounter a symbol, myth, or story that evokes a strong emotional response or sense of deep familiarity, meditate on it and allow free associations to emerge. Often, you'll discover you can expand or complete the story in ways that reveal knowledge you shouldn't logically have. The Tibetan pyramid is connecting you with the lineage of spiritual masters who preserved Hermetic teachings through Buddhist and Hindu traditions. Tsuli is revealing how concepts like enlightenment, nirvana, samadhi, and moksha are actually descriptions of consciousness states that Hermetic initiates achieved through pyramid technologies. If you feel drawn to meditative practices, Eastern philosophies, or have spontaneous experiences of altered states of consciousness, it's because your soul is remembering the training you received in monasteries and temples where Thoth's teachings were preserved in forms adapted to local cultures. To strengthen this connection, Thoth recommends practicing what he calls inner pyramid meditation. Sit in a comfortable position and visualize a golden pyramid forming around you, with you positioned exactly at the center. Allow this pyramid to become as real as possible, feeling its walls, its perfect geometry, and the energy flowing through it. Within this pyramid, you're protected from all external influences and can access pure states of consciousness. As you become accustomed to this practice, you'll discover you can achieve states of profound peace, clarity, and insight that are impossible to attain through conventional meditation methods. Now, there's something crucially important that Thoth wants you to understand about this current moment. The activation that's happening isn't just an interesting spiritual opportunity. It's a planetary emergency. Humanity has reached a point where it either consciously evolves to the next octave of existence or faces possible extinction through its own destructive creations. Hermetic initiates incarnated specifically to be catalysts for this evolution. You are literally genetic change agents, carrying the codes necessary for human species mutation. Every moment you remain dormant, every day you postpone fully accepting your abilities, is a critical delay in the planetary salvation project. This isn't a responsibility that should cause anxiety or pressure, but rather a call that should awaken your soul's heroism. You volunteered for this mission because you knew you had the necessary capabilities to accomplish it successfully. Thoth doesn't choose inadequate initiates for his projects. Right now, before this video ends, I want you to make a commitment. Choose one of your dormant abilities, whether it's intuitive healing, manifestation, telepathy, or visionary insight, and commit to developing it consciously over the next 30 days. Write in the comments which ability you're choosing to activate. This public commitment creates accountability and amplifies your intention through the collective field. The transformation that's happening is inevitable, but how it unfolds depends directly on the number of initiates who consciously accept their role. The faster you activate your complete capabilities, the smoother and more harmonious the planetary transition will be. The more you delay, the more turbulent and chaotic it becomes. The tools have been given, the activations have been initiated, the knowledge has been transmitted. Now only the conscious decision remains to fully accept who you are and begin living according to your true capabilities. This means trusting your intuition more than others' opinions. It means making decisions based on inner wisdom instead of social convenience. It means expressing your unique gifts, even if this makes you different or misunderstood. Most importantly, it means remembering daily that you're not normal humans having occasional spiritual experiences. You are multidimensional beings having a temporary experience of limitation in the third dimension. Your true capabilities include telepathy, clairvoyance, energy healing, conscious manifestation, astral travel, interdimensional communication, and direct access to the universal library of knowledge. These capabilities aren't supernatural or paranormal. They're completely natural for beings operating at higher frequencies of consciousness. The only reason they seem extraordinary is because humanity has been conditioned to accept a severely limited state as normal. Let me tell you about David from London, who contacted me 6 months after his initial Thoth activation. He said that within weeks of accepting his Hermetic lineage, he began spontaneously knowing things about people he'd just met. Not psychic impressions, but detailed information about their life purpose, their blocks, and what they needed for healing. At first, he was afraid to share these insights. But when he finally started speaking his truth, people were amazed by the accuracy and depth of his guidance. He's now a full-time spiritual counselor with a 6-month waiting list, and he says every day feels like magic. This is what happens when you stop pretending to be less than you are. Thoth is calling all his initiates to reclaim their natural capabilities and begin demonstrating them openly, not in an exhibitionist or ego-driven way, but as a natural part of who you are. When enough initiates are consciously operating at these higher frequencies, a morphogenetic field will be created that facilitates spontaneous awakening for the rest of humanity. This is the plan. This is the mission. This is why you're here now. The activation that began today will continue intensifying as you commit more deeply to this path. The coming weeks and months will bring synchronicities, opportunities, and revelations that will repeatedly confirm you're following your soul's destiny. But remember, Thoth can activate the codes, but he can't live your life for you. The final alchemy must be accomplished through your conscious choices, your courageous commitments, and your willingness to be different from what the world expects of you. Planetary transformation happens one awakened soul at a time, and you are the souls who chose to awaken first. If this content resonated deeply with some part of your soul, if you felt recognition, activation, or confirmation of something you've always known but could never explain, then you've just confirmed your identity as a Hermetic initiate. Comment "activated" below so we can recognize each other in this community of awakened souls. But I want you to do something else too. Save this video and come back to it in exactly 7 days. Mark in the comments which minute felt most powerful to you. Was it the Enoch visualization? The dream pyramid activation? The moment you felt Thoth's presence? This isn't just engagement. This is tracking your energetic signature so I can calibrate future activations to your specific frequency. And if you're ready to embark on the complete journey through all 12 of Thoth's pyramids, to receive every activation and access every code that belongs to you by divine right, then subscribe to this channel now, because this is just the beginning. Thoth has much more to reveal to those who demonstrate they're truly ready to awaken completely. Here's something I've never offered before. If you comment Pyramid Walker below and share this video with someone who you sense carries Thoth's frequency,